Come and take a ride to the ocean. Stay. Introduce you to the ocean gang.
All right. Good morning, YouTube. Kind of cloudy day today, but we woke up to a nice surprise. Nice surprise with the Subaru today. We got where is it? There we go. We got a nice nail in the tire. So woke up this morning, came outside. It's kind of crappy out. Was checking out the car and I saw a nail. Can't drive with nails in your tires, so I gotta fix it. So it's in. The tires got to get replaced. I already went to Firestone today. Ordered a new tire. That should maybe be here today. Hopefully by tomorrow. But I'm gonna take the tire off, get the spare on. When Firestone calls me back, tells me that the tire is in, drop the wheel off, get it replaced, mounted, balanced, and then bring it home to get it back on. So I'm going to show you everything that you need to do this repair on your own at home with tools that might cost you 10 bucks at the most, and that come with the car, really. So again, my wheel has to get replaced. I ordered a new one already. It is on the way to Firestone. I just have to drop the wheel off to put it on. But I'm gonna take the wheel off. I'm going to re-puncture the tire and then show you how to fix a puncture that could be fixed and why mine can't be fixed. So with that said, let's get the car fixed so I could drive it, because I can't drive it right now. So this is everything that you are going to need in order to get the wheel off of your car and fixed with literally nothing else. I bought these pieces from Walmart this morning. It was about $8 for the repair kit and $3 for the rubber cement, so 11 bucks. I did see another repair kit there that was like $2, $1.97, but I'm just gonna keep this as a spare set in my toolbox once I get my toolbox back, because, well, I mean, it's at work. My toolbox is at work. I'm just not there right now, and I don't have anything else, so I just purchased a little kit to have on hand as a backup. So I bought the better one other than the $2 one. A screwdriver if it is a screw in your tire, a hammer if it is a nail, or I should say a hammer with the claw back if it's a nail in your tire, a lug wrench to get the lugs off of the car, and a jack to get the jack up, or the car up. Every single car comes with a jack, so if you don't have access to a floor jack or you don't have anything else to get the car up, this will work. It's not fun. So yeah, removal, get the wheel off the car, get the car up, fix the repair, and put the wheel back on after it has been inflated. So again, that's everything that you will need. Obviously, you could use an impact wrench to get the wheels off faster. I'm going to be using a floor jack as opposed to this, just to make my life a little bit easier. If it's not a screw or a nail in your tire, you may need something else in order to extract it, whether it be a piece of glass in there. If it's glass, you're probably going to end up replacing the tire I don't know, glass can be iffy, but nails, screws, this is what you're gonna need. $10, $11 to get the replacement stuff. And let's get this wheel off so we can get it fixed. All right, so the first thing you're gonna have to do in order to get the wheel off of the car is you're going to want to deflate the air out of the tire before you jack the car up. You want to use the weight of the car to push as much air out of the tire as you can before you go start pulling stuff out of it. That it'll just make your life a lot easier and safer, as opposed to having a potentially pressurized tire with air in it. They do make tools, a valve stem removal tool that you should use to do this. I don't have access to one right now. Again, my toolbox is at work. So I'm going to be using a screwdriver just to remove the valves, or not remove the valve stem, but just push the valve stem in. That way it'll let the air come out. This is not the ideal way to do this. The valve stem removal tool is the ideal way, because you just screw the valve stem out, the little piece comes out, and all the air just rushes out, as opposed to here I'm gonna have to hold the screwdriver in and push the little piece in order to get all the air out. So let's do that right now. So right in here, this little dot right there, that's what you're going to be pushing in. I don't know how well it'll see inside of there, not very well at all, but in there a valve stem removal tool would just essentially go around that little piece. It'll fit into a couple little gap thingies there, and you'll be able to twist it out and unscrew it out. But I'm just going to be pushing the valve thing in. I don't know if you heard that. This is going to take like minutes or so to just wait and do that. So I'm going to get as much air out of the tire that'll come out of here, and then I will catch back up to you in a second. Alright, so it's starting to come out kind of slow, and now tire is getting lower. You want to make sure you go until you don't hear any more air coming out of your tire. You want it to be pressurized as little as possible. You are going to be essentially pulling the plug, the nail, whatever you have in your tire that's holding the air in from that hole. You're going to be pulling that out and forcing a ton of air through that hole if it's pressurized. So you want to make sure there's no air in there. That way, if there's a rock or anything behind that screw, or a piece of metal or a piece of glass or anything behind there, you don't want it to come shooting out, potentially hit you in the eye, or I mean, if you're really worried, wear safety goggles or whatever. But as long as all of the air is out of the tire, you will have very little to worry about in terms of projectiles coming out of that hole. So again, we have the tire all full. We have no air coming out of the valve now. So you can hear no air. Push it in. I guess there's a tiny bit of air in there still. Let it go. Push it again, no air. So now I know that this tire has very little air in there. Obviously there's some in there, otherwise it would be flat to the rim, but it's not going to shoot anything out at me. So let us break these lugs loose. After we break the lugs loose, then we will get the car up. If you lift the car up into the air before you break the lugs, more than likely in the rear you can use the e-brake most of the time to hold the axle from spinning, but just do it on the ground. It'll save you the headache. You just loosen them, and then you get the car up in the air, and then take them off, wheel comes off, said and done. All right, let's get the wheel off, and then I'll show you how to fix this nail problem. Now again, if I was doing this at a shop, somewhere with air, normally I would be using an impact gun to just zap all these off after the car is in the air. But this is to show you how to do it without using air tools or anything other than the tools provided with the car, and your own physical weight and strength. So again, with the car on the ground, essentially all I do is I just stick the wrench on there and I just stand on it, just like that. Use my body weight, and then lugs loose. Do it in a star pattern, just out of habit, I guess. I don't think for taking the wheels off a star pattern is really necessary, but just again to force good habits, just go in a star pattern. Good habits. Now we can get the car up, get the wheel off, and go from there. Alright, so if these clips don't line up, I'm sorry. I had to readjust the camera for a second. We have the car, the jack set up on the jack point. We're going to jack the car up. So when you're jacking the car up, you just really want to make sure you give yourself enough room to be able to slide the tire off and then put the new wheel whenever you put it back on. In our case, I'm just going to put the spare on for now. We'll jack it up, make sure it's suspended fully and off the ground. Now let's take it off. Tires off. Let's get the nail out and show you how I would fix it if I was fixing this, but we're replacing it. So let's get this tire fixed. All right, so the culprit of today's problem, this guy right here. Nice little nail. I have no idea where it came from. I mean, obviously it came from the street somehow, but don't know where I ran over it. But the where and the how and the why and all of those questions are irrelevant. It happened, it has to get fixed, and we're gonna fix it. So again, this is right on the side of the tire. This portion of your tire right here on the side, that's called the sidewall of your tire. This area takes the most stress during use, because so you got the weight of the vehicle on the tire, forcing air out in every direction. So the outside of the tire is not only being pushed by air this way, but as you drive and as you move, your suspension causes the tire to rock and lean and go left and right this way, putting substantial pressure on the sides of your tire, causing, you know, a lot of stress and strain on the sidewalls. So if anything punctures that area, the tire's done, it's trash. You don't want to try to fix that. No tire shop with any sort of reputability is going to fix that for you. It's trash. It's a lost cause. Fix the tire. It's not safe. For something that is on the I don't know, I don't want to call the face of the tire, but this flat area of the tire, this is where you can fix a puncture. You realistic like the tread on this tire has a nice little line here that kind of like anything from this point this way or this point this way, any punctures in that area would really just be unsafe to fix. This one being very obvious, it's almost straight through into the sidewall. It probably is. I mean, it kind of doesn't really look like it. It looks like it punctured right through the tire, but this is in that very unsafe zone, which is why I said I don't want to drive on this. If I have to leave, I'm going to put the spare on the car. So let's get this nail out of here and put it somewhere in this area. That way I can show you how to get it fixed. So since this is a nail, again, if this was a screw, you would take your screwdriver, screw it out, it would back itself out. Being a nail, we're just going to take one-handed our hammer and just extract it like that. So you can kind of hear the rest of the air coming out. There's the hole right there. But if this tire was still full of air, again, that rush of air would be significantly more, potentially even shooting this screw the last couple millimeters out of this thing directly into my face. So very important that you deflate the tire before it sorry, there's like some weird stuff on the screw I was trying to look at, but yeah, actually not gonna throw that. I'll throw it in the trash so this doesn't happen to me again or somebody else. But yeah, so let's get it punctured in somewhere over here, and alright, so nail is in a fixable area. So if this was the original incident, if this is where I found the nail, I would be able to fix this. I wouldn't have had to pay for a new tire. I would just extract it, fix it, throw it, well, air it back up, throw it back on the car, and then call it a day. But again, not fixable area, very fixable area. So same procedure as when we removed it the first time. I'm just going to take our hammer, take your nail out, and there you got your hole right there. And then we're going to take our handy dandy tire fixer kit and get it fixed. Alright, so in the kit that I purchased, comes with all of the tools that you need to fix a tire, or plug a tire I should say. So this is the kit opened up. It comes with the reamer tool. This is what we're going to use to make the hole the size that we need it, and give it sort of the texture that it needs to grip into the plugs. It comes with a tire pressure gauge in order to check the pressure of the air in your tires, and it comes with the plug applicator tool thingy. So this thing is kind of cool. What you're going to do is you're going to put the plug in here, slide it through. You're going to push it through the tire with the tool, and then it's got a little opening in the end of the tool. That way we're just going to pull it out, and it's going to leave the plug, and we're just going to trim it and call it a day. So let's get the plug in. Again, I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we will have fixed the tire. All right, so we have our hole, we have our reaming tool. So this is what we're going to use to shove in and out our hole a bunch of times in order to get it again to the size that we need it, with a little bit of roughness in order to adhere or to grip better to the glue. So we're just going to stuff this in, twist it around a little bit, give it a little bit of these, and then get the plug in there. So that should be good. Got it nice and reamed out to the size that we need it. So we're gonna get a plug into our tool and then go from there. So if you plan on replacing your tire immediately after you repair it, or repairing it and then taking it directly to a repair facility to get replaced, I'm going to be using rubber cement on here just to create a little bit better of a seal and a repair. This part is not 100% essential. You'll be able to get yourself to a replacement facility without the rubber cement, but with the rubber cement it just makes it a little bit better of a repair, last a little bit longer. So you saw me take the plug, thread it through the open portion of the tool. Now we're just going to take the plug, we got to puncture the cement, puncture cement. Alright, puncture cement, there we go. So we're going to take our cement and then we're going to cover the plug with the cement, and then get it all over ourselves. Get it off of ourselves before we glue ourselves to something. But yeah, so we're gonna cover the patch in the rubber cement. Doesn't have to be like 100% covered, but maybe 50% or so. Now we're gonna take this plug, put it right into our hole about halfway, and then we're gonna pull out really fast. So plug in the hole, push it in. So now we have our plug, our tool with our plug about halfway in. We're gonna pull out as fast as we can, and the plug is gonna stay in, the tool's gonna come out, and then we just gotta cut off the excess. So, tool, plug, pull. So tool comes out, plug stays in. Now we're just gonna take a razor blade, we got off to the side, cut off the excess, and if you were going to be reusing this tire, which we are not, again this tire is going to be replaced, you would just take this somewhere to put air in the tire, fill it to the appropriate 30, 32 psi, and then it's all fixed. So and there we go. So we got our plug fixed. Again, if you're going to be reusing this tire, just put some air in it, throw it back on the car, and you're all set. I need to wait for Firestone to get back to me to get a new tire on this wheel, and then I can get it back on the car. So yeah, that is plugging a tire. All right, so that was repairing a puncture in a tire. We got the spare tire on. We're waiting on the new tire for the wheel that belongs on the car. Whenever Firestone calls me, I'll be running that down. They can swap it over, and I'll just be bringing it back, throwing it back on the car. There's no need for me to show you how to take off and put on a wheel. I just showed you that. So yeah, how about a little surprise till next week? Well, not next week. I don't know when the next time is gonna be that I put something up, but let's go see the fish. All right, so we are now in my parents' backyard by the pond. It's a nice pond back here, a couple koi. We've had it for going on 15 years now. Let's see some fish. But yeah, usually the yard gets landscaped in the spring. It's only April, May right now. So it's being worked on for the spring. It'll be all done for the summer. And yeah, it's a nice little spot. I like to sit back here sometimes, just hang out. But I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Fixing a tire that didn't need to be fixed, that's just going to be replaced. Checking out the fish, and maybe next time we'll give them some food, hang out a little bit more. And if you like this episode, or this whatever you want to call it, me kind of just doing my thing, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.